Hey, Falcons fans! What I'm about to tell you will absolutely blow your mind. The organization just made moves that have sent shockwaves through the entire NFL community, and I guarantee you haven't heard the full story yet. We're talking about emergency decisions, behind-the-scenes panic, and revelations that could completely change everything we thought we knew about this team's championship aspirations. Listen up, because what happened in the last 48 hours is going to determine whether we're looking at a miraculous turnaround or watching our season crumble before our very eyes. The front office is in absolute crisis mode, and the decisions they're making right now are either genius-level moves or the kind of panic reactions that destroy franchises. I've got insider information that's going to make your head spin, and by the time we're done here, you're going to understand exactly why this could be the most pivotal week in recent Falcons history. We're talking about emergency signings, coaching staff under fire, and a situation so intense that even the most optimistic fans are starting to sweat. But here's what's really crazy: buried in all this chaos, there might actually be signs of something incredible brewing. The kind of moves that separate championship teams from mediocre ones. The question is, are we witnessing brilliance or desperation? But before I drop these bombshells that are going to change how you see this entire season, if you consider yourself real Falcons Nation, I need you to do something right now. Smash that subscribe button like your playoff hopes depend on it, because they actually might. Hit that notification bell so you never miss the breaking news that could make or break our championship dreams. And if this intel gets your blood pumping the way mine is right now, destroy that like button and let me know in the comments if you're ready to ride this roller coaster with me. This is the kind of exclusive content that separates the die-hard fans from the fair-weather followers, so prove you're part of the real Falcons Nation and let's dive into this madness together. Let me start with the elephant in the room that's got everyone in Flowery Branch absolutely freaking out right now. The kicking situation has gone from concerning to downright catastrophic, and the ripple effects are hitting every single level of this organization like a Category 5 hurricane. Young-Ho Koo's missed field goal against Tampa Bay wasn't just another missed kick, it was the final nail in a coffin that's been building for over a year. This isn't some random slump we're talking about, Falcons Nation. This is a systematic breakdown of one of the most crucial positions in modern football, and the numbers are absolutely terrifying. Since the 2023 season, we've watched this once reliable weapon transform into a liability that's costing us games, costing us momentum, and frankly, costing us our sanity. The organization knew they had a problem, but they rolled the dice anyway, hoping against hope that somehow things would magically fix themselves. Well, guess what? Magic doesn't exist in the NFL, and now they're paying the price. But here's where it gets really interesting, and this is where you need to pay close attention because this reveals everything about how this front office operates under pressure. Instead of panicking and making emotional decisions, they've implemented what I'm calling an emergency evaluation protocol that could actually be genius. Parker Romo to the practice squad, and before you say who the heck is Parker Romo, let me blow your mind with some numbers that'll make you understand why this could be the most underrated move of the entire season. This isn't just some random kicker they picked up off the street. We're talking about a specialist who went 11 for 12 on field goals last season with Minnesota. But here's the kicker, and I'm not even trying to make a pun here, his accuracy breakdown is absolutely insane. 3-for-3 from 20 to 29 yards, 3-for-3 from 30 to 39 yards, 4-for-5 from 40 to 49 yards, and a perfect 1-for-1 from 50-plus yards. His only miss? A 43-yarder in a game the Vikings won anyway. Compare that to what we've been dealing with, and suddenly this emergency signing starts looking like the kind of move that championship teams make when they refuse to let one position derail their entire season. But wait, it gets even better. The fact that they're bringing in competition while also having rookie Lenny Creed on the practice squad means we're looking at a three-way battle that could completely revolutionize our special teams unit. This isn't just about finding a replacement, this is about finding the missing piece that could unlock this team's true potential. Now here's where things get really spicy, and this is information that's flying completely under the radar while everyone's focused on the kicking situation. The real story isn't just about missed field goals, it's about the systematic issues that are exposing some serious questions about the coaching staff's decision-making process. Raheem Morris is catching heat from every direction right now, and frankly, some of it is completely justified. The decision to stick with a struggling kicker despite obvious red flags? That's on him. The offensive line struggles that have our quarterback running for his life? The coaching staff bears responsibility for that preparation and adjustment. But here's what's driving me absolutely crazy, and this is where I need you to really listen because this could change everything about how we view this season. Buried in all this criticism is evidence of something that could be absolutely spectacular. Zach Robinson's play calling in Week 1 was conservative, sure, but look at what our quarterback accomplished despite everything falling apart around him. Over 300 yards of offense, 2 touchdowns, 0 turnovers, all while dealing with an offensive line that couldn't give him consistent protection. That's not just good coaching adaptation, that's the kind of game management that wins championships. Let's talk about the most underreported crisis that could single-handedly destroy this season if it's not addressed immediately. The offensive line situation is absolutely dire, and the domino effect is already wreaking havoc on every aspect of our offensive game plan. Losing Caleb McGarry for the season was devastating enough, but when you add Storm Norton's ankle injury and the center position transition, we're looking at a complete reconstruction of our protection schemes in the middle of the season. This isn't just about individual players, this is about chemistry, communication, and the kind of cohesion that takes months to develop. The run game statistics from Week 1 were absolutely horrific. We're talking about one of last year's most effective units suddenly looking like they've never played together before. But here's the thing that's got me cautiously optimistic, and this is pure insider speculation based on what I'm seeing in practice reports. This coaching staff might actually have a plan that nobody's seeing yet. Ryan Newsel stepping in at center isn't just a replacement move, it could be the beginning of a completely different offensive identity. Sometimes the best transformations come from necessity, and if this line can gel quickly, we might be looking at a more dynamic, adaptable unit than we had last season. Now let's talk about the one bright spot that has me absolutely convinced this season could still be something special. What Michael Penix Jr. accomplished in Week 1 wasn't just impressive, it was the kind of performance that announces the arrival of a legitimate franchise quarterback. Think about this for a second. 4th NFL start, offensive line struggling, kicker missing crucial attempts, play calling under scrutiny, and this young man goes out there and delivers over 300 yards of offense without a single turnover. That's not just talent, that's the kind of mental toughness and leadership that championship teams are built around. But here's what's really got me excited, and this is where the coaching staff deserves some serious credit. The way they've positioned Penix to succeed despite all the chaos around him shows a level of strategic thinking that could pay massive dividends as the season progresses. The protection schemes, the route concepts, the way they're utilizing his mobility without exposing him to unnecessary hits, this is championship-level quarterback development happening in real time. If the offensive line can stabilize and the kicking situation gets resolved, we could be looking at one of the most explosive offenses in the entire league. Here's something that's getting completely lost in all the offensive drama. Our defense played with an aggression and intensity that we haven't seen in years. This isn't just about statistics or scheme changes, this is about a complete philosophical transformation that could make this unit absolutely terrifying for opposing offenses. The way they attacked Tampa Bay's offensive line, the coverage schemes that kept their receivers in check, the run defense that made their ground game look ordinary, this was a statement performance that announces this defense is ready to carry this team when needed. But what's really exciting is how this defensive aggression could complement what we're building on offense. If Penix continues developing at this pace and the defense maintains this level of intensity, we're looking at the kind of balanced attack that makes deep playoff runs possible. Now let's talk about something that's absolutely crucial for understanding what the next few weeks could mean for this entire season. Week 2 against Minnesota isn't just another game, it's a litmus test that could determine whether these emergency moves were panic reactions or strategic brilliance. Playing against the team that employed our new kicker adds a psychological element that could be huge for team confidence. If Romo gets the call and delivers in his first game wearing red and black, that's the kind of momentum shift that can completely change a season's trajectory. But here's what's really fascinating, and this is where the coaching staff's true mettle will be tested. How they handle the offensive line adjustments against the Vikings defense that's going to test every single weak spot we showed in Week 1. Falcons Nation, here's why everything we've talked about matters for the bigger picture. These aren't just Week 2 adjustments, these are the kinds of organizational responses that separate pretenders from contenders. Championship teams don't let individual position failures derail their entire season. They make tough decisions, bring in competition, and refuse to accept mediocrity at any level. What we're seeing right now is an organization that's willing to make uncomfortable moves to fix problems instead of hoping they'll solve themselves. If the kicking situation gets resolved, the offensive line finds its chemistry, and Penix continues his development trajectory, we could be looking at a team that's significantly better by midseason than anyone expected. But if these problems persist, we could be watching another promising season slip away due to preventable issues. Here's my bottom line, and this might surprise you given everything we've discussed. Despite all the chaos, all the emergency moves, and all the legitimate concerns, I'm more optimistic about this team's potential than I was after week 1. Why? Because championship organizations don't ignore problems, they attack them head on. The fact that we're seeing immediate action on the kicking situation, strategic planning around the offensive line issues, and a young quarterback who's showing he can perform under pressure tells me this franchise is finally operating with the urgency and precision that winning requires. The next few weeks will tell us everything we need to know about whether this is the year the Falcons finally break through or if we're in for another season of what-ifs and almosts. But based on what I'm seeing right now, I'm betting on breakthrough. Falcons Nation, keep your eyes on what happens in Minnesota, because that game could be the turning point that we've been waiting for. And make sure you're subscribed because the next few weeks are going to be absolutely wild.